I am here with Gideon Spencer, and we are at the University of North Texas Frisco location. This place is pretty nice.
It is. It looks really good.
And we just got through having a really neat gathering. Let's talk just a little bit about this gathering. You helped put this together. What was the name of it, and what was the purpose of this gathering?
Well, the intent was to communicate to people what the minimum viable product is. So taking their business or their concept of a business and finally giving it wings and kind of lifting it off the ground. So first off, you come up with an idea and then you try to conceptualize it and make it tangible. And while you're making it tangible, what does that look like? It looks like a minimum viable product. You want to be fast to the market, you want to be cheap, and you want to learn your mistakes as quickly as possible and really have a tight feedback loop with your customers so that you can develop something really great. So that was the focus that we had at this event. It turned out really, really well. We had a great turnout. So the speaker came, Michael Rondelli, and he gave a great presentation. He has a lot of great background with IP law. He was a lawyer. He's worked with investment companies down in San Diego, and he's done a lot of great stuff. So we had a really good turnout, and we made a lot of good progress.
And this was really a brainchild of yourself and Ryan Gerardo, who's the president with Players Revolution and Emerge, and so y'all have a relationship. And I think you felt like there was a lot of connectivity from a standpoint of the DNA of what Players Revolution is all about and what you're trying to do to help empower some of these people to understand principles that can help make them better, viable businesses, really in that incubation period or whatever period they're in. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the beauty of Emerge is really facilitating the transition from nothingness to actually some revenue stream for whoever wants to be a part of it. A lot of the challenges that people face is they see these big multimillionaires with their businesses, and these multimillionaires, they write books on their past experiences, and those past experiences oftentimes tend to leave out the real struggle periods and how you actually make that leap from nothing to something. And so the beauty of the Emerge initiative really is to facilitate that transition from nothing to something. So a lot of times people say, like, okay, I see where you are. I see kind of like how to operate at that level, but how do I get there? And the Emerge initiative helps people who have that drive, who want to make it, actually make that first step and turn their ideas into something tangible.
So you are playing the role right now of the executive director of the Emerge Initiative, and we're super excited about that. Tell me just a little bit about your background and what makes you a unique, good fit for the Emerge Initiative, and kind of some of your vision of where you'd like to see that go in addition to what you just talked about.
Okay. I've done a lot of strategic development for my company over the past 3.5 years, and then prior to that, and up till now, I've been involved in a lot of other startups and kind of help facilitate those. But my time is, I'm super swamped with a lot of stuff, but because the Emerge initiative had such value in, giving back to the community, I wanted to kind of dive in on that and help develop that as well.
I got pretty excited when Ryan was talking about it, and then when we got a chance to meet and I kind of heard a little bit about your vision, your background, I got excited about you being a part of that and part of the team. So what you were talking about a minute ago, what I'm hearing and some of the things y'all have talked about is actually sharing some of the stories that you realize, okay, maybe there's not this huge facade between Mark Cuban and what I'm trying to do, and how did he get there, and was he just an average guy? Did he work his butt off? Did he just get lucky? And all those kind of things that help get you from, I don't think I can do this, to I think I can do this, and what are some of the steps along the way to do that? It's really a lot about what tonight was about. Could you encapsulate a little bit about what we talked about tonight? What do you feel like some of the big takeaways were from tonight's gathering?
Sure. Okay, some of the big takeaways. I think the number one takeaway is speed to failure. And the reason that that's really important is because a lot of people are terrified of failure. They try to hedge their bets, and they say, okay, how do I consider? Okay, let me break it down. So there are two types of progress. There's a type of progress where you try to hedge your failures and you try to keep from failing. And then there's another type of progress, which is I'm going to win. And Bobby Fischer was famous for playing to win as opposed to playing not to lose. And when you play to win as opposed to playing not to lose, is you're actually racing to that success, and on your way, understand that you will hit failures, but you want to get to those failures as quickly as possible so that you can turn around and learn from those mistakes and then press forward. So the key takeaway from tonight was really developing the minimum viable product. So what is like the absolute basic core fundamental of your concept that you can go ahead and take and then push and then hear back from your customers, and whether you fail or not, it almost doesn't matter. You obviously try and you strive for success, but if you fail, the beauty is in the speed to failure, because you're going to come back stronger.
I thought it was interesting because it is a struggle to figure out, how do I make a product that's going to last and it's different than somebody else's product, but not over-engineer it and get this paralysis by over-analysis that we just continue to go and go and go and never actually put something out in the marketplace to see if they'll actually buy it. Would you feel like, after what we talked about tonight and maybe from your experiences, do you think one of the best ways for a minimum viable feedback and minimum viable product is actually trying to sell a little bit of it, do a focus group? How do you define, is it different for each situation, or what's your take on how do you make that decision? What's enough viable product for me to where I'm not either putting my thing out there and it's not very good, right, or I've just over-engineered this thing and it has to be perfect, or I can't put it out there?
Well, I think that's kind of one of the trickiest parts. Is a lot of people, they find the intent for the minimum viable product is different than I think it should be. So the minimum viable product is really just to validate your idea. So you're not trying to make the big bucks off your minimum viable product. What you're trying to do is trying to say, okay, will the market accept it, and to what extent will they accept it, and what aspects of this product will they accept, so that I can, develop those aspects that are selling, and then kind of get rid of the aspects that are just a waste of time, because you want to make sure that as you develop this product, you develop it as efficiently and as quickly as possible.
Great suggestions. How can someone find you if they got other questions, if they want to email you, if they want to find you on social media? How can you be found?
You can find me at info@playersrevolution.com.
Excellent. I know those guys. They're good guys.
Yeah, no, it's a really good team. Really good team. I'm pretty heavily connected with them right now.
And this particular meetup in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, how can they find that? Get more information about that?
You can look up BYS, Build Your Startup, at Meetups Group. So it's I believe it's meetup.com, and you can just search Build Your Startup. Formerly the Lean Startup, but we made a transition to kind of encompass a lot of other aspects for people trying to develop their startup.
Well, Gideon, I want to thank you for being a part of what we're doing and being a part of our team and what you're doing here with this startup initiative. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to doing some more stuff in the future.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it.